Welcome and thank you so much for tuning into the Greatness School YouTube channel. The channel where diamonds come to meet fellow diamonds to sharpen each other to greatness. Indeed, you are a diamond. I am your brother Ambrose Weda Esq, lawyer, mentor, and author. Kindly listen carefully to this video and others on this channel. If you find them enlightening and sharpening, I request that you subscribe if you have not done so as yet. Click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Newer and more enlightening videos are forthcoming. You should not be left behind. You can also ask a question. Give us your feedback through a comment. You can also recommend to a friend, a fellow diamond. Thank you so much and welcome. Greetings to you all. This is the Greatness School. The Greatness Talk platform. Today we want to look at how to break barriers in life. Whatever your circumstances, whatever you are starting from, whatever your history, whatever your background, what would you do to have a leap, an exponential leap in life? There are others who have done it. There are others who have come from very, very unlikely quarters and made history in the world. What can we learn from them? What can we know? What can we imitate? What can we grow from? Today we want to look at 9 things President Barack Obama invested in that enabled him to break barriers. Racial barriers, academic barriers, economic barriers, family barriers, national and international barriers, all sorts of barriers he was able to break, he was able to excel. From the example of Barack Obama, what do we learn? We are talking about the 44th president of the United States of America, the first African American president, somebody who was elected is U.S. Senator. Before that, he was a state senator in Illinois twice. He's a Nobel laureate. And interestingly, currently his pick, his choice for vice president, then for the 2 terms, Joe Biden, is now the 46th president of the United States of America. And Barack Obama remains widely popular in the world, honored. He still maintains a very iconic life. How did he reach here? What are the things he did that you and me can emulate and grow? What did he invest in that you and me can invest in and you upgrade your life? It enables you to move up the ladder in your own society, the ladder in your own community, the ladder in your own country, the ladder in your own continent, the ladder in your own institution. What did he invest in? The number one thing that President Obama invested in is called self-discovery.
Let me express my deepest gratitude for the privilege of addressing this convention. Tonight is a particular honor for me because, let's face it, my presence on this stage is pretty unlikely. My father was a foreign student, born and raised in a small village in Kenya. He grew up herding goats, went to school in a tin roof shack. His father, my grandfather, was a cook, a domestic servant to the British. But my grandfather had larger dreams for his son. Through hard work and perseverance, my father got a scholarship to study in a magical place, America, that shone as a beacon of freedom and opportunity to so many who had come before. While studying here, my father met my mother. She was born in a town on the other side of the world, in Kansas. Her father worked on oil rigs and farms through most of the Depression. The day after Pearl Harbor, my grandfather signed up for duty, joined Patton's army, marched across Europe. Back home, my grandmother raised a baby and went to work on a bomber assembly line. After the war, they studied on the GI Bill, bought a house through FHA, and later moved west, all the way to Hawaii in search of opportunity. And they too had big dreams for their daughter. A common dream born of two continents. My parents shared not only an improbable love, they shared an abiding faith in the possibilities of this nation.
If you read his various books, The Audacity of Hope, The Dreams from My Father, The Promised Land, you will find he has a very unique history. Born of an African father, Kenyan, born of a mother, white mother. He was of mixed race. The father then left the mother, came back to Kenya, so that as he was growing, he grew up in the hands of the grandparents. And at times he grew up in the hands of a stepfather. They bring out conflicts in life. They bring out internal emotional conflicts, various questions to address, various issues. And the result is you can end up being confused. You can end up having less or no confidence in life. And you have so many questions to answer as compared to answers you have. So the first thing I could see the fellow did, and we salute him, was self-discovery. What is this? He deliberately undertook actions and journeys to know who he was, his abilities, his challenges, limitations, and basis for his feeling. In the quest for self-discovery, in fact, he had to travel to Kenya, he had traveled to Kogelo, he had to actually go up to the father's grave to answer that internal question, to put history together, to demonstrate and to satisfy himself that he has roots. People without roots are always disturbed. They always have unanswered questions, the emotional questions. So he addressed these issues about the background, and he found the father's family, found the grandmother, found stepbrothers, he found other relatives, and this brought rest to his heart. He knew himself and became at peace with who he was. One of the ways that will give you confidence, that will give you a rooting, that will give you knowledge, is to be able to understand yourself. It is called self-awareness. You become self-aware through self-discovery. That is also the way in which you sit. You examine your passion, your purpose, your talents, your gifts. You understand them. You get to know, and you can tell, I'm a singer, I'm an artist, I'm an orator. All this self-discovery. And it is this self-discovery that enables to lay a foundation on the kind of life you want to be. Out of it, he built himself. And from it, he wrote books. Audacity of Hope, Dreams from My Father. He was able now to say, this is who I am, this is what I know about myself, these are my experiences, these are the explanations, these are the reasons for it, and this is how I'm going to utilize this knowledge to grow exponentially. You can do it. We have done it. He did it. And is a bare good example that you can emulate. From here, he was able to crystallize his vision, answer nagging emotional questions, nagging psychological questions. If you have him, please set on a journey of self-discovery, self-awareness, self-understanding. You have to discover yourself to go up. If you do not know yourself, you'll get lost in the crowd. You must know yourself at all times from the word go. Number two, President Obama invested in developing a virtuous character. What will make you move, what will carry you along, what will lead you to exponential growth, to overcome barriers at whatever stage, is virtuous character. This is character. He had character, he developed character which could withstand intrusive scrutiny in the American political space. Remember, coming from a background of the first African American, mixed parentage, father from Kenya, all this led to very intrusive inquiries, innuendos, investigations, and he was able to surmount all this because he had developed a virtuous character, a character of honesty, a character of discipline, a character of truthfulness, a character of integrity. This is exemplified by his 8 years of scandal-free presidency. If he could have been found in any slight scandal, I'm sure he would have not only been impeached, but thrown out, because everybody was sitting on edge, waiting for a small mistake to chuck him out. Part of his character that makes him remain iconic, that you need to develop, I need to develop, is he was able to demonstrate humility. He is authentic. He doesn't have faces. This face in the morning, another face, and a character of duplicity. He was authentic, and this generates trust. Remember, the rarest commodity the world is looking for is trust. People are looking for people to trust, and trust will open any door for you and me. If you read his history, when he left university, when he left college, he focused on the welfare and needs of others. Generosity, giving. We have seen he's developed a character full of respect. Respect for himself, respect for others. And also courage. He took risks. Took a lot of risks for betterment of society and himself. Under this developing virtuous character, you can see that Obama is very regal, very kingly, highly respectful, respects himself, respects the family, carries himself out in a dignified manner. Why do I say this? This is a type of character we need to emulate, we need to grow if we are going to break barriers. And these are augmented by very good manners and etiquette, courtesy, manners, decorum. You have seen his very caring and loving attitude towards people and towards his family. The immediate family, comprising his wife, Michelle, and 2 daughters, and the wider family. You look at him and say, how iconic, how admirable, how regal. This is what I'm saying we need to emulate if we are also going to break barriers. This virtuous character enabled him to transcend the very deep racial divide in the United States of America. He was able to transcend prejudices that exists in the world. You and me require to continuously develop virtuous character. Continuously grow our traits that make us pure, like gold. Develop characters that our actions become sweet aroma unto our fellow human beings and to the creator of all things. Number 3, President Obama engaged in what is called own capacity building. He didn't just wake up and he was president or senator or very popular or very lovely. He went through many things, many difficulties, racial prejudices, being ignored. He writes that he also experimented with all these things, cigarettes, all these things. But in that morass of confusion, it can be seen that he chose to be a person of value, a person standing out. Why do I say so? He and the grandparents chose and opted for premium education. Premium education, good training and experience. In 1983, he graduated from Columbia University, political science degree. That is training, that's education, premium education. He then went out to work as a community organizer. But in the course of his work, he realized that the difficulties in moving things as a community organizer required additional qualification. And the most additional qualification which was appropriate was a law degree. He didn't whine and dine and complain and yell and do all this. He said, okay, and he enrolled back in 1988. He enrolled back at Harvard Law School. Harvard, one of the best in the world. And in 1991, he graduated with a law degree. I'm talking about superior qualifications, superior learning. In order for you to break barriers, you must be one of the best in academic, education, training, and experience. Starting from a much lower, a much disadvantaged position, you need to build capacity. Came out with superior qualifications, honors, and then he went to generate interest, to generate capacity by being a community organizer. He became a teacher. He became a civil rights lawyer. How was this building capacity? As a teacher, you are able to research, you are able to talk, you learn talking, you learn speaking. As a civil rights activist and lawyer, you learn speaking, you learn organization, you have courage, you have ability to organize, which comes from community organizing. All this later on became useful in his quest for public service as an elected leader. If you listen to Steve Jobs, there are times he veered off into other lectures which were not related to what he was studying, but eventually he says later on they became very useful to him. Own capacity building. If you are going to break barriers, you have to have very superior academic, professional, and social education. The world is looking for value. Be so valuable that they can't ignore you. Be so valuable that they'll need you. Be so valuable that they can't just reject or ignore you. They will come. Value plus character gives you serious and big advantages. What do we mean by value? The kind of problems you solve. The world is full of problems. And those who solve those problems excel. You are paid according to the problems you solve. You are celebrated. Number 4. Obama deliberately chose an environment to plant himself. You can have good education, good character, all these things, but you are planted in the wrong environment. There is the Christian Bible, the parable of the sower. The sower himself went to sow. Sowing is by broadcasting seeds. You broadcast seeds by throwing them. And they say some of the seeds fell on the rock, some fell on the road. The ones that fell on the rock, they did not germinate. Some were eaten by birds because they were exposed. So you have to be careful about your environment where you are planted. There must be a place where there's fertilizer, there's good temperature, there's good rains, so that you blossom. He deliberately, he was born in Hawaii, mixed parentage, black father from Kenya, white mother from Kansas, US. And he briefly lived with his stepfather in Indonesia. Remember, he went to school in Hawaii and a college in New York. Those are high-class areas. But deep, you cannot come out easily. So he deliberately moved out to Chicago, where he planted himself. Have you sat and asked yourself, where am I planting myself? Where is my environment? Is it conducive environment for my growth, for my vision? The vision I have, will it germinate and grow, or it will dry up because of the environment? It is here in Chicago, Illinois, that he was able to connect and fuse with people. He connected to people. These people later on became useful when he wanted to be a senator in Illinois and a US senator, and later on president. So I would say that plant yourself somewhere and then take root like a tree. Plant yourself in the right place, in the right environment, with the right people, connecting, and then take root below so that you're able to bear fruits above. And once you plant yourself, invest in that environment. Embrace it. Fuse yourself into it. Go down. Make yourself part of the environment so that you're able to grow. Obama went to Illinois. He was a community organizer, a human rights lawyer. He connected to people, served very well. He got married there. He had a family there. And that planting gave him roots. So you look at a person whose father was in Kenya in Africa, mother elsewhere, they rested. And therefore, generally, nowhere you can call home strictly. But he planted himself, and today he can say he is a person from Chicago, Illinois. Plant yourself. Look at the environment. Number 5, where he invested in work and service. He did not go down lamenting, crying foul, how there is discrimination in America, how the father left the mother and came back to Kenya, how he was not able to do this, waffling and whining and dining and complaining and he. No, he got down to work. What kind of work? Service. He looked for a problem to solve. You and me also should always look for problem to solve. Get to work. He went down to serve the people, gave himself out. Imagine, instead of being a lawyer in corporate, doing corporate work, let's say in New York, in wherever, he chose to go down to community service, local. And he was working with low-income residents in a place called Chicago's Roseland community. Low income, instead of being high corporate, high-flying lawyer working in big firms where the billing hours generate millions of dollars. He chose to teach constitutional law at the University of Chicago Law School, and this he did from 1990 to the year 2004, serving diligently as a professor, churning out students, churning out disciples, also community organizing. He is planting himself, but he's working. He planted himself through service. Between 1997 and 2004, he became Illinois State Senator. And then he became American State Senator in 2008. And out of this background, out of this service, out of the track record he had generated, he was elected President of the United States of America in 2009. And he served 2 terms up to 2017. He remains as one of the top-tier presidents, ranked among the top-tier presidents, some of the best performers. He's one of the presidents of America who are able to deal with the issue of healthcare insurance. And you'll always hear something called Obamacare. We are talking about service. Got down to work, industry, invested in excellence. Let you and me invest in the quest for excellence. Good service, solving problems, satisfying, reading and making history through service. Work. Number 6, President Obama invested his time and energy in his family. How? He started his own family. He met a lady, distinguished lady in the law firm where he had gone to work, called Michelle. Proposed to her, dated her, and they got married. They then had a house, and then they were blessed with 2 children. Family, immediate family. Why do you and me need a family? Family gives social and spiritual foundation as well as support. He got into the business of raising children. He was also a child. And you'd see some of his clips where he says, because he did not live with his father, he wanted to be one of the best fathers so that the children would not experience what he himself went through.
We got single moms out here, they're heroic what they're doing. And we are so proud of them. But at the same time, I wish I'd had a father who was around and involved. Loving, supportive parents. And by the way, that's all kinds of parents. That includes foster parents, and that includes grandparents and extended families.
He got down to building the wider family also. He came to Kenya, he brought in his brothers from Indonesia. He developed a network of the family. And then he also now went to develop humanity through service. Developed his Kenyan heritage, found it out and grew it. So for you to succeed well in life, for you to break barriers, the unit that you need, first and foremost, is the family unit. The creator of all things, other than creating the human being, the first human person, the unit that is divine is the family unit. And it's the family unit that makes a nation, makes a society, and society makes a nation. Family. And he has so far lived a successful family life. So you and me invest in family, bringing them up, growing them, bringing up people, growing people, investing in humanity, because human beings are actually the image and likeness of the creator of all things, God Almighty. Number 7, the 7th thing he invested in, Obama invested in artful communication. Ability to talk, ability to write, ability to pass messages through words, through action, through deeds, coded in all manner. Artful communication, useful, valuable communication. Obama is an excellent speaker and an excellent writer. He has written 4 books, bestsellers. He's also an artful storyteller, using very carefully chosen words, jokes, all these things. He has a welcoming tone, voice, body language, and his smile is wonderful. And the signs he gives. From his writings and speeches, he has made, I believe, he has made millions of dollars. And is a much sought after speaker. Event speaker. This is a gift that you are given by your Creator, the Creator of all things, the King of Kings. Ability to talk. It is you and me to harness it, to tame it in such a way that what you speak has value, can bring in value. It is a resource available to all of us. Most of us, 90% of us, can and are able to speak. But for it to bring value, you must train it. You must coach it. You must beat it well. You must cultivate it so that you speak artfully. And this is one of the things that President Obama has been able to grow. You and me, let's grow it. With it, you will break barriers. Speech, oratory. Number 8. All these things that President Obama has done and has been doing, going back to Chicago, going to school, getting married, remaining in a family, faithful to his wife and other family members, he invested in building a good name. What is a good name? A name that is esteemed, revered, trusted, and desired. And a good name is chosen and built. King Solomon said in Proverbs 22 verse 1, I quote, a good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver and gold. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver and gold. End of quote. In other words, a good name is bigger than great riches, bigger than silver and gold. Why is it bigger? It is extra. It will give you the silver and gold. It will remain in perpetuity. We remember writers like philosophers like Plato. We remember philosophers like Aristotle, Socrates. We remember like President Lincoln, a good name. He built a good name. You find that people build brand names, and books have been written. How do you build a brand name? There are brand names. Products, Coca-Cola, Google, Facebook, all these are names. What do they represent? Something good. So you and me know that a good name has a profit. You build it by infusing with it virtuous character, which generates trust and therefore enables to make achievement and success through distinguished service. It is your name that attracts opportunities. It is your name that attracts people, and people come with their wealth to offer to you, either in terms of physical wealth or their goodwill, a good name. So therefore, connect to people, serve, infuse virtuous character, and all these things will build you up. Invest in building yourself as a popular, respected, brilliant person who then turns into a brand, a good name. He invested in it. I am investing in it. I beseech you to continue investing in building a good name. Number 9. The man has invested in building a solid legacy. Solid legacy. He is a Nobel laureate. He has written 4 books that will be read for generations to come. He has gone into the annals of history. He's a good president, a family man, a writer, a lawyer, a teacher, an orator. Look at it. He is still popular, he's still respected, outstanding goodwill, and he continues to walk in discipline to guard the legacy. Not only it is easy to build, it is easy to build a name, it's easy to build a reputation, but it can go in a day. So he continues to build the legacy. Just the other day he released his book, A Promised Land. That's part of the legacy. He continues to build it. Even after he left the presidency, 4 years after I left the president, he released an international bestseller, a book of monumental ideas, issues, things, stories. I've read it, and I can tell you, sitting down to write a book of almost 751 pages. That is building a solid legacy. Please work on your legacy. Try to look and say, when you die, how will your funeral look like? What will people say? Will they be lying on what you did and you didn't do? Or they will be looking back and say, it is good you are a prophet to humanity. It is good you lived. It is good that you were born building a legacy. In conclusion, as I continue to urge you to do all these things so that you continue to invest in a way that you are able to break barriers. Allow me to quote one of the American ladies, Oprah Winfrey, who said this: a mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself. A mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope in yourself. Reflect on President Obama and see the hope within you. May the life and times of President Obama inspire you and me to great heights of achievement and legacy. Thank you so much, and God bless you.